Welcome to the first edition of DIG's Diatribe. This is going to be a video blog to be found on Common Man's program page, KFAN.com, where you already are. I'm Notorious D.I.G, dopey intern guy. I have been here for about a year, and I don't get to give my opinions very often, so this will be pretty fun for me. This week's Diatribe, I'm going to look into next year's NFL draft, what the Vikings are going to do. I know it's a little early on, but I always love the draft, and I'm looking forward to seeing who they might pick. And I've already picked the player that I think the Vikings should take this year. I know I'm a homer, but I really think Eric Decker is one of the best players in college football that I've seen in a long time. I think he's fast, he's smart, he's athletic. He was a three-sport athlete in high school, and not only that, he was in the National Honor Society, and while he was in college, he has been named to the Big Ten All-Academic Team, as well as playing baseball and football. As a player in the NFL, I think he could remind me of players such as Anquan Bolden or maybe Hines Ward. He's a very tough, strong football player with great all-around wide receiver skills. His toughness was on display the other day when they played Air Force. He caught a touchdown pass right at the pylon and got drilled and laid on the ground bleeding, and I got a little worried about him, but got back up, and evidently he had a big gash on his chin and had some stitches, but he held onto the ball. This is a tough guy town, and he's a tough guy wide receiver, and we could use him on the Vikings. He's also shown he's a very good blocker, and he even has been known to throw a pass. He's got that big arm from baseball. The Vikings front office are up here close to the campus and are able to watch him on a regular basis. I think that gives them an advantage over the rest of the NFL because due to people doubting his athleticism, I think he has slipped in the eyes of scouts in the draft, and the Vikings could use that to their advantage. I personally see Decker as a game changer, wide receiver. I think he's very underrated. I think he's got a lot more speed and a lot more strength and a great route runner. The situation reminds me of when Marion Barber and Lawrence Maroney came out of the U, and Marion Barber came out. He was probably the better player on the field, but he slipped to the fourth round while Maroney ran a good 40 time, and he was taken in the first round. And it just you just saw what happened in the subsequent years. Maroney was definitely the better player. And Decker's the same way. I think you have to look at what he's done on the field. It doesn't matter what he does in the combine. Anyway, he's a football player, and we need football players in this team. On this team in this town, he's projected to go late in the second round in a lot of mock drafts that I've seen. Probably due to the fact that he plays in Minnesota. I think if he played in Florida, he'd probably be on SportsCenter a lot, and he'd probably be a lock to go in the first round. So I think the Vikes should grab him if they are picking late in the first round, hopefully with a 32nd pick. You know, they could take him late in the first round and have a sure bet. I know a lot of players in the first round end up being bust, and I don't think he has much bustability about him. He can add needed depth to position on the Vikings. It's probably one of their weakest position, wide receiver. And I think he'd be the #1 wide receiver for the Vikes in a couple years. Bernard Berrien's getting a little older, and his skill set, I think, really complements what they have on the other side with Percy Harvin, with that speed and strength. All right, this has been the first edition of DIG's Diatribe. See you next time.